Hey YouTube, me and my fluffy non-fixed hair are running to the store. It is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's been a few things that haven't really worked out today, and that's frustrating, and I don't know why I let myself get so frustrated and down about those things, but I do. Something that I'm trying to get better at and just deal with differently. But today was a heavy day for us with homeschooling. I can't remember if I've talked about this that much on this channel. I know I've talked about it some, but we purchased a curriculum. It's a curriculum that I grew up using. I know there's some holes in it. I know it's not perfect, but overall it's good. And I wanted to use something that I was familiar with in order to start homeschooling, to build my confidence and to build my daughter's confidence. I also wanted to be confident for her confidence. And also, it teaches reading really well. I feel like it teaches children to read phonetically. And it really breaks down the sounds of letters and things. And so I really enjoy that. And so, but anyway, admittedly, and I'm not trying, I feel like my daughter is pretty smart. A lot of people do tell me that my daughter's pretty smart, but I don't really know. But what I will say is she is advanced beyond the kindergarten level, more or less. Like, there's a little bit of newfound knowledge for her in the kindergarten curriculum, but for the most part, she's been more advanced. Like, we are in the last weeks of kindergarten for her, and there's just now some newer concepts. And that's mostly just history and science, So, basically, it's going really, really well. But I've decided, since she has been more or less advanced beyond what this material has her at, and granted, the way that her birthday has fallen, she's on the older side of the grade. You know what I mean? She's not in the younger side of the grade. She would be older. And she's smart and stuff. So I'm just like, you know what? We just decided to double up on the curriculum. And also, we only go 4 days a week. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, to me, feel a little bit chaotic. Tuesdays, I work. And my mom and my grandma have the kids and do the schooling. And then on Thursdays, my daughter has dance class in the evening, and so I just kind of want to lighten the load a little bit. Originally, my plan was to do 2.5 days of curriculum per day because we do not do schooling on Fridays. So I needed to be able to absorb that day. I wanted to double up, essentially, where we were doing 2 weeks per week. And also, we needed to absorb that other day for 2 weeks, So if we did 2.5 days per day, 4 days a week, that would get us 10 days per week of curriculum completed. And then what I have shifted that to, I don't know. We're just now coming back from Christmas break, and it's been an adjustment for us, but I would say the last few months, the last few months, what I've discovered really is better for us, even though it's a little much or a little difficult whenever you're also trying to conduct the rest of your life, is we do 3 days worth of curriculum on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we do 2 days worth of curriculums on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the 3-day days they're just complicated for the fact that it's not a huge load. Like, if you've heard anything about homeschooling, lessons don't take very long. They're not that big of a deal. They don't take very long. What's cumbersome about it is that you are doing it within your home with your other kid and your other family members and your other responsibilities and your other obligations. So when you put all that together, that's where it becomes a little more complicated. But education is a priority for me, for her, even though we chose to homeschool. It's a priority. And it sounds like I'm just pushing her through it. I'm really not just pushing her through it. in the next couple of weeks, I don't know. I really need to look at it, or I don't really care if I'm honest, but I would say by the time February rolls around, we're going to be in first grade material. And once we get into first grade material, we will no longer be pushing days. We'll just be doing 1 day per day, except I still only want to do 4 days a week instead of 5. It's something that may sound silly that I feel passionate about, but I feel passionate about it. I went to school 4 days a week whenever I was younger, and it was something that I always enjoyed, and I always felt like it was a perk. So I went to a private school that used this curriculum, and they only did 4 days a week. And so anytime anybody would want to make fun of me for being a private school kid or, anything like that, I'm like, do you go to school 4 days a week? And it was not to be gloaty or rub it in, but people love to make fun of other people if they're doing something different than they are. And it was just something that I felt was a perk. And so since we decided to homeschool our children, I do want to get them involved in lots of extracurriculars. And, they have friends and stuff like that, which is great. I mean, they have as many friends as I had in my private school. So I'm not worried about them. But, what was I going to say about that? I don't know. I'm passionate about keeping it down to 4 days a week, and so that maybe they can feel like they have a bit of a perk there. Because my whole school career, I was always like, toot toot. I just thought it was so cool. So I feel passionate about it. And then also, it's not that far out of the norm, because there really is a public school local to us. It is not the school district that I live in, but a neighboring one does 4 days a week. And I don't know if that started with the with the COVID thing and when they were going. I don't know when that started, or maybe it's been for a long time, but they only go 4 days a week. They go Tuesday through Friday. So it's like, what is that beeping? It's a forklift. Anyway, so yeah, so it's not that far out of the norm. So once we get into first grade material, we'll be doing 1 day per day, but then probably on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would guess, we will do an additional half day. Really haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, because I haven't dove into the first grade material to look at all the workbooks and how it lays it out. But that's my goal, is to, I know I'll figure it out. I have figured out kindergarten. I can figure out first grade. It'll be fine. I already have everything. I just haven't dove into it yet. I will be doing that in the next couple weeks. I've been diving into life as I know it now without my dog. And I'm still not having fun with that. I can tell you, it's still very hard, but I am able to keep it to myself a lot better. And then, maybe I'll go here. Just different changes in things, preparations for things that are coming up. I'm gonna have to have some really complicated conversations coming up, and I just don't look forward to things like that. But it's just part of life. It's how it is, and I'll manage it. My husband is at a meeting out of town currently, and so we stayed last night with my mom, and I think we're gonna go ahead and do tonight too, and then we'll kind of get back to life as it is. It'll be nice to have my husband back home. I mean, not that he was gone long, yeah, but just a lot of adjustments going on right now. It wasn't fun when he left. So, so tomorrow my daughter has dance, and so I'm going to make a big pot of soup for everybody and split it between houses and stuff. So that's why I came to the store, because I bought some things from the health food store that I work at yesterday to make it, but I just need a few little odds and ends to just tie it together more or less. And so, I'm going to grab some stuff, and I'm going to make a big pot of, it's like potato and leek and bacon soup. I would just say potato soup, but they got a shipment of leeks in. They had some organic potatoes, and they've got this big, thick, beautiful bacon. And I make a pretty mean potato and leek soup. So I'm going to put all that together tomorrow. And I sneak a lot of veggies in. Like I take mixed veggies and I blend them up and I put that in the broth. Like I put that in the base to thicken it a bit and stuff. And so I sneak some extra veggies in. And I just feel like, especially this time of year, everybody that we know has been sick. Like we've gotten away with not getting sick, I think. But I do think we've probably been fighting a mild form of something off. Like nothing that it's like, oh wow, like I'm sick, because I haven't been sick, but I've just been feeling like drained. And I could be like, well, that's grief, or that's this, or that's that, like easily. But no, my husband's felt the same way, which he's grieving too, but not quite like me. And my kids have had weird, unusual things go on with their appetite and their bathroom habits and stuff that is just TMI, you know. But so it's like, well, maybe, you know, I don't know. And it's kind of weird. So anyway, I'm gonna run in here, I'm gonna grab the stuff I need. I gotta get back to my mom's house to take everything there to make the soup in the morning. And then we're gonna go to my grandma's tonight for dinner, and maybe I'll take down some of her Christmas decorations and all that. I guess, I mean, I could take them all down as long as I have something I can cut her stuff off of her banister with. I don't know if I do. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.